Jai Sadgurudeo and a very good morning to all of you. My name is Ravi Shankar and I have joined the Satsang from Austin, Texas. Welcome to weekly English Satsang organized by North American Institute of Vihangam Yoga. I am sure everyone here would agree that in the present age, our daily lives completely revolve around just fulfilling our physical, mental, and family and social responsibilities. In this fast-paced routine life, the requirement of soul are often neglected. So first, I would like to congratulate each one of us for taking some time from our busy schedule to fulfill the requirement of our soul through this satsang. So now we'll move to our next phase of satsang to recognize warriors of the week. We all know that the best time to meditate is Brahmurat between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. But most of us are unable to take advantage of this time. To encourage all of us, NAIVY has started a WhatsApp group called Brahmurat Warriors. The goal for participants is to practice Brahmurat meditation on their own and report status on the group by sending done as a message on the group. There is no session to join. If you are interested in joining this group, please let us know and we'll add you to that group or we can send you the link. It's time to congratulate Warrior of the Week who has meditated in Brahmurat every single day of the week. We have Suryalam Rajuji, Yogesh Shagarji, Prachi Shagarji, and Radhaji. Thank you so much. And inductees of the week, who are those disciples who meditated for at least one day of the week. We have Niranjanji from Atlanta, Vijay Kumarji, Mukesh Kumarji, Mayaji, Angelique Kumarji, Saroj Guptaji, Srirangji, Rashmiji, Ajay Mujarji. Thank you so much. Thanks to NAIVY for such great initiatives and to the warriors and to the inductees of the week to encourage all of us and inspiring us to do meditation in the Brahmurat. Now we transition to the next phase of the satsang. This can be an interactive session that will help us deepen our understanding and confidence in sharing the profound teachings of Vihangam Yoga. Let's come together with open hearts and minds to learn, grow, and inspire each other. Today, we delve into a thought-provoking topic: the slavery of mind versus making destiny. As seekers, we often find ourselves trapped by the limitations of our own minds, influenced by past habits, desire, and external circumstances. However, true wisdom lies in recognizing this bondage and taking conscious steps towards shaping our own destiny. Through the path of Vihangam Yoga, we can gain mastery over the mind and unlock our true potential. Guiding us on this journey today, we have Achalji from Pennsylvania, a sincere disciple of Sadgurudeo, who inspires us with his seva bhav, devotion, and deep knowledge. His dedication to selfless service and unwavering faith make him a guiding light for many on the spiritual path. We are truly fortunate to have him and share his insights and wisdom with us today. Let us all feel grateful for this opportunity and engage in such a deep and transformative discussions. Now I invite Anchalji to take the session forward. Over to you, Anchalji.
Thank you very much, Raviji. सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप है ममाराध्य भगवान, बार बार वंदन करूं युक्ति भेद रत ज्ञान आदि अंत अरुमध्य में शाश्वत जाको से अमृत अंतर्यामी हो नमो नमो मम देव. First of all, I bow down to the holy feet of current Sadguru and the whole family of Acharya family, and seeking blessing from all of them. Second, I appreciate you all taking out your busy time and joining this satsang. Let's focus our attention on today's topic, slavery of mind versus making destiny. Precisely, we can say it's the art of kind of a mind management. All right, so we all wish to succeed in life. That means we wish to feel good. We wish to be able to think well. We wish to able to do good. This is a universal common need because life has been created by God. Hence, life is sacred. All of us has a tiny part of God. We wish to be perfect like Him. He is perfect. So how do we attain that kind of success? Some people have a lot and yet they fail miserably. Some people has very little yet they lead rich and successful life. So we'll take one or two instances. I'll take one instance uh, from within the US itself. The first kind of the typical examples I came across is Elvis Presley. He was the icon of the generation. He was called the king of rock and roll, or more simply say the king. He was blessed with exceptionally good looks, golden voice. As a result, he became a super celebrity. He had amazing wealth, exceedingly popular, I would say. And whatever you can think of is he has everything in his life. So here is a description of an average day of an Elvis Presley during his last 3-4 years of his life. Um, he will do the performance in the stage. When he would return, he would tell his caretaker or helper, give me the first pain medication or give me the medication. They would give him the pain medication under his shoulder blade. Then the race would begin. How much he could eat, how much he could drink, and then after some time he will go fall in sleep. He would then wake up in the morning, early morning, with a less enthusiasm because he was drugged. He would say that, give me the second dosage. And then again, their caretaker will again jab an injection under his shoulder blade and give him something to eat. That would keep him knocked off through the morning. And then again, the race will start during the noon. So the third time, they have to wake up and give another kind of a medication. Then he would take some of those pills, as well as they will give him some energy medicine to go and give a performance on the stage. And this process will repeat. His closest friends or associates, when asked, why does he take this medication? They used to say that he is so unhappy. He wishes to forget himself. That's why he does it every day. And this he has done it for the last 3-4 years of his life. Here is the example of someone who has so many blessings, yet his inner life was a miserably failure, I would say. Now, in contrast to this, I'll take another example from the American history. There was a lady called, I think she was from New York, not positive, whose name was Helen Keller. Helen Keller, at the age of 18 months, she caught a virus. As a result of it, she lost her sight and hearing. So 2 of the 5 senses become dead. So from the age of 1.5 till the age of 6, the little Helen Keller used to throw a tantrum. She did not have a means to communicate with the parents. When parents would touch her, she would go into another tantrum. As a solution, her mother took her to a school physically challenged, and the principal, Miss Anne Sullivan, I think, was the principal of that school. She touched Helen Keller, and then again she threw a tantrum. The principal told the mother, "Leave her, Helen, with me tonight. I will take care of her." So that the mother had left the Helen to the principal. When her mother went away, then this principal took the Helen left hand under the water faucet, and with the right hand she drew, or I would say that she indicated that this is a water. For the first time in her life, understood that the physical entities have a designation or names like that. So she was thrilled on a little bit of learning. She wanted to learn more and more. On the first night, she learned like 30 objects. She continued to keep learning. She learned to understand the Braille lipi, which is used by the physically challenged people. She went on to become a graduate and started doing philanthropy around the world as she becomes famous. She desired to give lectures. She wanted to learn how to speak. See, her ear as well as her eyes were both are not working. The teacher has to do special communication to teach how to speak. Yet she learned how to speak and she delivered a lecture around the world. She lived at a ripe age, and at the end she said, "Life has been beautiful. I have enjoyed every single day." And see, from one perspective, she had so much less than others. From another perspective, she had made her life a success on these 3 parameters, at least: feel good, to think good, to do good, to be a successful internally or externally. Now the question comes, what do you think is the difference between 2 lifestyle choices here? Both had money, both had fame, they become very famous, but what is the difference between these 2 individuals? God has bestowed all of us with many assets: our body, our resources, our family, our social status, our set of skills and knowledge. Very often we sideline that entity which gives a difference between these 2 celebrities, and that entity is called the mind or the mindset. Have you ever felt less than the great about yourself or how your day is going? We all have or had these days when we feel a bit down or low. Some days we are feeling great. Some day we feel less great about ourselves. But we never pause to ask ourselves why we are feeling this way. It turns out, if we trace it down, our feeling back is our thoughts. So here is how it works. Our thoughts determine our feeling or the moods. Our feeling develops our attitude towards a situation, which informs our action, behavior. Our action defines our habits, which led to the formation of our character, which in turns informs our destiny. In short, we choose our destiny with our thoughts. For instance, we cannot change our feelings alone, as they are a result of our thought. What we feel is not dependent on the world outside. How we are feeling is what creates our world outside. We don't have to rely on our feelings. We can master the ability to create the right thought every time. Also, simply, we can say our life is a manifestation of our thoughts. Our thoughts are more powerful than our words or our actions. In Vedanta, there is a shlok, or the hymn is there, which says, "Man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshe, bandha vishaya sasno muktaye nirvasnaye mohe." For man, the mind is the cause of bondage, as well as it is the cause of liberation. Mind is absorbed in the sense object. In the case of is the cause of the bondage, and when the mind is detached from the sense organ, is the cause of liberation. That's what this Vedanta or this Upanishad shloka says, or this Upanishad couplet says. So thus the mind is vitally important. It can be the worst enemy, as it could be our best friend. One of the philosopher, I do not remember the name, I think it is Milton or somebody, has nicely said that mind is a place, it's of its own, and itself can make heaven out of hell and hell out of heaven. The mind is sitting in a heavenly environment. If the mind is agitated and disturbed, it can make you experience the torments of hell. And sitting in a hellish condition, if the mind is calm, peaceful, blissful, it can make you experience the joy of heaven. So that is why, if we wish to progress, if we wish to realize the God-given potential, we need to learn how to manage the mind very often. We overlook the simple truth. We always talk about success on the outside and measure it with external parameters. How much wealth do we have? How high have you risen to the profession? How popular are we in society? These external things, we see them as a parameter of success, but we forget the simple truth. First of all, you need to succeed on the inside to enrich your inner life. And the external success will be a natural consequences. So the question comes in, what is the mind? What is the entity the mind. One of the Upanishads says that Manaha Atmanai Darshane Karanam, means mind is the means of the soul for from where the experience, means the soul gets an experience of the subject with the help of the mind. Swamiji in Swarved says that Panch Vishaya go artha hai, ek sang nahi bhig, man satta ek vastu hai, ye man kar hai leen. There are 5 subjects of Indriya, or the 5 subjects of our sensory organs. The entity that these 5 subjects cannot associate together with it, it is called as mind. Means all these 5 subjects cannot be associated together. That is what it is called mind. In the scriptures, mind is one of the organs written as antahakaran chatusthya. Means antahakaran means it is antahakaran means it includes mind, means man, buddhi means intellect, chit means kind of a memory, I would say, and ahankar means ego. So antaha means it is inside or internal, and karan means it means like an instrument. So this 4 makes as an inner instrument. And you have in this gross body, you have a bahyakaran, means the outer instrument, or the sense organs, as well as karmindriya, which is the action of organs. With the sense of organs, you sense, perceive, think and reason out. Our body has 10 organs, I would say. Those organs which are visibly outside located, or the outer part of the body, they are called bahyakaran. Means karan means here means the important agency through which the doer does his work. For example, we write with a pen. The pen thus help us in writing something. It means that karan is to write with. Similarly, the sense of smell is to nostril. With this, one can have a knowledge of good or bad smell. Similarly, you have for all the 5 sense organs. Tongue is for the taste, eyes is for the sight, like that. These organs impart the knowledge of the outer world to the soul. The 5 organs of actions are there, and the soul does all the works with their help. If any of this is not perfect order, we cannot do our work properly. So the 4 antahakaran, or the 4 inner instrument, out of which the mind is the most subtlest as well as the most agile. Swamiji in Sarved says that man sanchalak deha ka mankar sakal pasar atam chetana yoga se man par karma apar. What he talks about is when the ray of consciousness from the soul combined with the mind, means mind takes the ray of the energy from the soul and passes through the senses, the sensory organ. Their combined assembly, these 3 makes the soul to connect with the outer world. The soul then acts or perceives some of this from the outer world. If mind is not in contact or of the outer sense, then the knowledge or the action, you would not be able to pass it to the soul. Thus, I would say that for gaining knowledge or performing any action, the unity of this 3 things, it is called Trigunatmak, which is soul, mind, and senses, has to be there. If we observe minutely, we feel that our mind is never at rest. It is always, um, it is always, it is always flowing outside through the senses to the outer world. It is also constantly taking the conscious energy of the soul, even if you are not doing any work. So I have depicted one of this flow chart. It's not 100% perfect, so don't take it as a perfect one, but it gives you the idea how does every situations or every actions, whatever we are doing, how it is flowing through through how it is flowing through. If you observe it here, for any situations, I would say that that's how it is connected to the outer world. It is constantly taking conscious energy of the soul. Even if you're not doing any work, you are just still sitting, thinking, speaking, making plans, or engaged on any activities, all the time the conscious energy of the soul is there along with the mind. This is the greatest bondage of this soul. As long as the soul is attached to the mind, it is devoid of any peace or happiness. So how does then mind or how does it affect us? Means, yeah, we are saying that it takes our mind and everything. So, but how does it affects eventually? If we think of little deeper, everything in this material realm is has a different aspects, different kinds of energy. So our thoughts are also like a little bundle of energy. They are the waves in the atmosphere. You cannot see them, but they are there rapidly, just like an electromagnetic waves. If somebody is mobile is not off and suddenly it rings during the lecture, what happened? You see that the web was there, the mobile got it. Similarly, if you take off radio, if you tune it, you can go to some station, AM, FM, and all the webs are present. Similarly, our thoughts are also in the form of waves, and they are impacting us. Even though we do not know, but even though it is having consequences, if you keep harboring thoughts of negative thoughts, anger, it reflects on your face. If you look at somebody else and say that he is totally calm, peace, if you think of how did you reach to this intuitive judgment, because the thoughts that pursue the person who is pursuing the thoughts, and if harbors, they chisels one appearance like a sculptor. That is the power of thought. Not only it impact further our health, it impacts our whole gross body as well as our soul too. There is a whole branch of new medical science, psychosomatic science has been now created in the medical field, which just reads the connection between the mind and the body, and understanding that how the mind is connected with the body. So when we harbor our negative thoughts, or they poison our blood, they will create ill health. And when we harbor healthy, wholesome thoughts, they lead to a good health. One of the examples from Ramayana was Yoga Vasishtha. in the ancient scripture. It talks about when Rama was traversing his kingdom, he found people are sick. He found the vyadhi, means the illness, and this moved him to a pity state. So he came back to his guru, um, Guru, Guru Vasist, and asked the guru, what is the cause of this vyadhi or the illness? Maharshi Vasist gave a very insight answer. He said that disease begins in the mind. If we harbor negative thoughts of anger, tension, stress, anxiety, this disrupts the in our body we have 5 seats, 5 koshas. So he says that it disrupts the manomaya kosha. So the energy, the small energy of your thought is pushed into a manomaya kosha. It is called as the mental sheet, which in fact produces disturbance, or it can agitate the next sheet, which is nothing but pranamaya kosha, the vital energy sheet. If this sheet is agitated, then it is the agitation then is manifested in the gross body, which is called annamaya kosha, and then it will show the disease in your gross body. So that's how the flow of thoughts to the gross body it comes through. Let me take another example. So mind is picking up the thoughts, and the thoughts are the seeds, I would say, and action grow out of them. Just like a plant or a tree comes from the seeds, similarly the actions we perform, the seeds of these actions are our thoughts. Good thoughts will lead to the good actions, bad thoughts will lead to the bad actions. If you think of it's like a garden. Many of you have a garden plots. You have experienced that when the soil is fertile, it will definitely lead to crop. Either if you put a good seeds, the good crop will come through. But if you have weeds, you will see that slowly that weed will take over for the whole place. So we need to find a way to remove the weeds, and then sow a good seeds, and make sure that those good seeds are given with a good fertilizer, with a good watering, and that's where then the plant will grow. So based upon the discussion what we have, we can define the slavery of the mind, I would say, refers to the state where an individual is controlled, dominated, or trapped by their own thoughts, emotions, I would say the beliefs, or any subconscious patterns. In this condition, the mind operates in a way that causes a person to feel helpless, anxious, unfulfilled, as they are unable to free themselves from negative thought cycles, limiting beliefs, and I would say that it is unproductive behaviors. The key aspects of this slavery of this mind is, the first point is negative thought patterns. Constantly being overwhelmed by the self-doubt, worry, fear. The mind becomes fixated on negative scenarios, which prevents personal growth. The second one is emotional turmoil. The mind sometimes traps in the cycle of strong emotional reactions like anger, sadness, jealousy, frustration, making it difficult to maintain inner peace or emotional balance. The third is unconscious reaction. The mind can be controlled by past experience or unresolved traumas, causing automatic reaction that is or that are not aligned with the person's true desire or values. This leads to a lack of control over one's decisions and action. The fourth one is limiting beliefs. Sometimes we get stuck with, I'm not good enough to do this. I can't achieve my goal. This kind of a statement, this kind of a thought imprisons our mind. These limiting beliefs prevent individuals from seeking possibility and prevent them from taking necessary actions. The last point is external influence. Some of the people say that or people can become slaves to the expectation and the judgments announced by the others, allowing external validation to dictate their worth and decisions. Thus, the slavery of the mind often leads to the feeling of internal conflict, lack of fulfillment, and missed opportunities. It prevents individuals from realizing their true potential, as their thoughts and emotion have power over them rather than the other way around. Then what is the destiny then? Destiny can be defined as the outcome or culmination of one choice, one action, and mindset over time. It is not merely a predetermined fate or series of random events, but it is instead shaped by how we respond to our life circumstances, the decisions we make, and the way we cultivate our thoughts and attitude. Here also the key aspects are the first one is the choice. The important part is the choice. The decision we make daily, both big and small, play a critical role in determining the direction of our lives, whether we choose to act with integrity, take a risk, or remain passive in the face of challenges. Each choice influences the path ahead. The second is definitely is in action. Our action are the practical expression of our choices, consistent effort, hard work, and the ability to act in alignment with our goals and values create the foundation of our destiny. It is not just what we think or wish for, but what we do that ultimately shapes our future. So the first is definitely you need to think, but the action is the ultimate shape our future. The third thing is mindset. The way we think about ourselves and the world serve as the lens through which we interpret our experience. A positive oriented mindset empowers us to overcome the obstacles, while limiting our negative mindset can lead us to the stagnation of or self-bondage. Our beliefs and attitude influence how we react to challenges and whether we believe we can achieve our desired outcome. In Gita, I think it is in chapter 6, there is a couplet which talks about Uddharet Atmanam Tamamam. I think I forgot that line, but the meaning is elevate yourself through the power of your mind and not degrade yourself with the mind. So the question is, how do we convert it from slave of the mind to its destiny? So there are some tools and techniques. So the tools and techniques is, the first one is have a predetermined aim of the life. This is the first and the foremost, where you need to have your um, determination, what you want it to be in your life. That's how you can make the mind to work. The second one is the important one, which is called intellect. You have to use this intellect. This is one of our inner organs, and this definitely, with the help of ego as well as the soul, um, can make the mind to listen you. If you think of, as a student, you may not be reading the whole year, but as the time progresses, at the end of the year, you will start reading it. The intellect will say that if you do not read, you are going to lose an year. And the same person who was not reading at the end, he will start reading it definitely. And in the exam, earlier he was not able to sit for a long time, he will sit in the exam and then give the answers to the question paper for continuous 3 hours without thinking anything, without doing. So you have the capability, you have a zeal to control the mind. So this intellect, you have to use the intellect's, the discrimination power of the intellect to tame the mind. The third one is first level of Vihangam Yoga meditation. I will not go into the details, in the great detail on this portion. The fourth one is Satsang, discourse. We have listened to a lot of Vedantas or in Upanishads, where one satsang, one discourse between a rishi and a person make him from thief to an elevated or liberated person, from a normal person to a liberated person. So definitely satsang is an important tool to tame the mind. The next comes is seva, the service of guru. So the question comes, how does that service of guru will help me in taming my mind? Swamiji in Swarved says that seva sadguru sant ki adhikari man aav, jigyasu va nahi hai, sevak sevan bhav. The first line he says that seva sadguru sant ki adhikari man bhav means, if you serve the saint or the sadguru, um, you will be eligible. Adhikari manabhav means you will become eligible to tame your mind. So here the important point is, with the help of the serving, it is the eligibility of taming the minds comes into play. And the last one, I would say that the breathing exercise also calms down our mind. You have if you have attended the Sulhasji session, at the end of the session, she was chanting the Om, which calms down the mind for some time. I think I took quite a bit of the time, so I would stop it here. Thank you very much for listening, and over to you, Raviji.
Yeah, thank you, Achalji, and thank you for sharing all the insights and how to calm our mind with the some kind of pictorial representations. We know, like this kind of explanations, things settle on our mind for a very long time. Thank you for sharing this deep insights with us. So, seeing the with the interest of the time, we have to move to the last segment of the satsang, and we can take any follow-up questions related to this or any doubts via chat, and we can continue this session on the next uh, weekly satsang. Yeah, it was very insightful, and thanks, Anjalji, once again. So we have reached to the last phase of the satsang where we'll be um, uh, sitting down for Santipat, and where we chant for peace for everyone in this universe, and request Sadgurudeo to bless the entire cosmos with the peace, love, and prosperity. I would like now request Vaibhav ji to recite the last few lines of Santipat for us. Over to you, Vaibhav ji.
जय सद्गुरुदेव शांति पाठ हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो शांति शांति में शांति शांत शांत जन शांति हो पूर्ण शांति में शांति हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर दूर हो सर्व शांति देव सदा फल शांति में शांति शांति सुख शांति। बोल सदगुरुदेव भगवान की जय।
Thank you, Vaibhav ji, for a soulful recitation of Santipat. I would like to thank all of you for joining today's satsang. I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to Sulbha ji, Anchal ji, and Vaibhav ji for their seva, discussions, um, and active engagement in such a session, and all the team behind this organizing and coordinating the satsang. I pray to Sadgurudev for a peaceful and spiritual week ahead for all of us. Till then, take care and see you all next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the same Zoom session. I hope a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day and week ahead. Jai Sadgurudev.